Texas House Democrats have fled the state in their bid to block congressional redistricting. This is Monday, August 4th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Welcome into Monday. Thanks for kicking off your week with the Texas Minute. A decision last week by a judge on Texas' new business court involving the rigging of the Texas lottery is raising questions about how the court will prioritize corporate secrecy over government accountability. More on that story coming up. As the race heats up to replace outgoing State Representative Dennis Paul in House District 129, one candidate is already under fire for a political contribution. Bob Mitchell is facing scrutiny from conservative grassroots activists after federal documents revealed that he donated to the late Democrat U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. The contribution was earmarked for the Democrat primary and lists Mitchell's occupation and employer at the time as executive director of the Bay Area Houston Economic Partnership, appearing to confirm his identity. Mitchell is the former head of the Bay Area Houston Economic Partnership. Despite the public record, though, Mitchell denied on Facebook that he's donated to anyone. Attorney General Ken Paxton scored a significant procedural win in his lawsuit against three of the world's largest asset managers over allegations that they conspired to manipulate U.S. energy markets by restricting coal production in order to advance an environmental agenda. Paxton's lawsuit argues that BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard amassed large ownership stakes in major U.S. coal producers, giving them coalition-level power to pressure companies into cutting in half their production by 2030 in line with radical environmental goals. The companies have denied the claims and sought to have the case dismissed. A federal district court judge is allowing the case to proceed under both Texas and federal antitrust laws, along with some of the state's consumer protection statutes. This means Paxton's office will now be able to move forward with discovery in the case, gathering documents, and taking depositions. While the Texas House was scheduled to gavel in later today and take up congressional redistricting, Democrats have reportedly fled the state for Illinois. Their action is designed to disrupt the legislative process by denying the chamber its constitutionally mandated quorum for conducting business. At issue is the redrawing of the congressional lines that would essentially make Republicans competitive in 5 additional seats. Those lines were approved on Saturday by the House Select Committee on Congressional Redistricting. New House rules allow fines to be levied of up to $500 per day per member who busts the quorum. This would amount to around $1 million total for the Democrat caucus over a 30-day period, but those fines could be covered by a deep-pocketed set of Democrat donors. Politico reports that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has voiced support for the Texas House Democrats' actions, explaining why they went to Illinois. California Governor Gavin Newsom has accused the Texas Republicans of, quote, trying to rig the election through the redistricting process. Ironically, while Democrats have attacked Texas Republicans for adding to their congressional strength, California's delegation is even more lopsided. In California, Republicans routinely receive around 40% of the statewide vote, but have been gerrymandered to just 20% of the state's congressional seats. As you might imagine, none of the Democrats' media apologists have been upset by that. The Texas Minute will be right back.
News and analysis on what's happening in Texas. End your day with daily headlines from Texas Scorecard. Every day at 5 p.m., join me, Brandon Waltons, as we recap the biggest stories of the day and talk about why they matter to you. From the state capitol to town hall, there's no shortage of events happening. Keep up with it all. Watch and subscribe to Daily Headlines from Texas Scorecard.
Judge Melissa Andrews of the newly established Business Court has declined to require disclosure of hidden corporate interests allegedly involved in rigging the Texas lottery. This is raising questions about whether the new court will prioritize corporate secrecy over government accountability. At issue is Jerry Reed's $7.5 million Lotto Texas winning jackpot from May 2023. 1 month earlier, a New Jersey-based company called Rook TX claimed a $95 million jackpot after allegedly misrepresenting its date of formation in violation of Texas law. The company also engaged in what many consider to be a conspiracy with lottery officials to buy all the lottery number combinations. Reed's legal team is asserting he's entitled to that $95 million. They're also attempting to expose a potential money laundering scheme being conducted through the company. They allege, as others have, that Rook TX was created only, quote, to hide the identity of defendant conspirators who rigged the lottery. Judge Andrews decided last week that she was not going to force Rook TX to disclose the individuals and entities with financial interests in the company. The decision comes in the business court's infancy. It began accepting cases in September 2024. Unlike the rest of Texas's judiciary, the business court judges are appointed by the governor for 2-year terms without a limit on how many times they can serve. It's worth noting that Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has described the Texas lottery as, quote, probably the biggest money laundering scheme in the country. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Sidney Henry, Brandon Waltons, Aaron Anderson, and Travis Morgan. The podcast is edited and produced by Nick Shepard. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Let's go make it a great day.